Have you ever wondered, how did I get this cavity? Or you had a cavity filled about a month ago and then 6 months later you go to the dentist and you have 5 more? Well, my name is Dr. Emily Kraft, and today I want to answer those questions for you and tell you, how did you get that cavity? Cavities happen because of a few different things all happening at the same time. The first thing that happens for you to have a cavity is that you have to have bacteria in your mouth. Well, the bad news is the bacteria will always be there. You will never get rid of the bacteria. So we now have to figure out, what do we do with the bacteria? There's one type of bacteria in your mouth that actually causes a cavity. So when you have a cavity in your mouth, in your tooth, it's an infection in your tooth. The reason that that infection is there is because the bacteria in your mouth ate food that you eat, specifically sugar, carbohydrates, anything very high in sugar. And it took that sugar and it made it into acid. The acid in your mouth then finds your teeth and eats tiny little holes in your teeth. At first, they're very microscopic. I can't see them, you can't see them, no one can see them. It's when those little tiny holes grow, they become bigger, and then you come to the dentist and I can see them, we can see them on an x-ray, and we can see them in your mouth. So what happens to make the acid grow the cavity? Here it is. Anytime you eat anything with sugar, the bacteria eat the sugar and they make acid. The acid finds your tooth and it eats a tiny hole in your tooth. So the main question is, knowing that there's going to be acid in my mouth every time I eat, how do I prevent a cavity? When you are not eating, what your body does is defends against and rebuilds and packs back in and fills in the tiny holes that the acid made in your teeth. So when you're not eating, your body takes minerals in your saliva, fluoride in your toothpaste, and actually sticks them back on and fills in the tiny holes. So when you eat, you get little holes in your teeth. When you're not eating, the holes fill back in. It's a constant loss of minerals from your teeth and then gain of minerals back to your teeth. When you lose more minerals than you gain and your body's able to stick back onto your tooth, you get a hole and you get a cavity. Taking the minerals in your toothpaste and your fluoride is what your body will do to fill in those holes, but there are also some other things that you can do to help your body out and to give it a head start. The first thing that you can do is, ideally every time you eat, you should brush your teeth. What it does is it takes away the acid, it takes away the food, and just washes away everything that would cause a cavity. Now, I recognize that life isn't ideal and you don't always have a toothbrush around. So the next best thing would be just to chew a piece of sugar-free gum or even drink a glass of water. What that does is it washes away and just mechanically rinses all of the cavity forming things from your teeth. There's also a few other things you can do to help your teeth out and help your body out. The first thing is, when you're eating, there are certain habits and ways that you can eat that make the cavity process harder to create. For instance, let's use soda. We all drink soda. It's out there. It's pretty hard to avoid these days. And soda is terrible for your teeth, if you want my honest opinion. Not only does it have gobs and gobs of sugar in it, which we know the bacteria love, but it also already has acid in it. So you're basically helping the bacteria out and saying, you don't even have to make the acid, I'm just going to give it to you already. So with soda, a lot of people tend to sip on a soda and take a sip every 10 minutes, or you're sitting at your desk at work and you just kind of enjoy a soda or sugared coffee or Gatorade or really any beverage that has sugar in it. It's far worse to sip on that sugary beverage than to drink it all at one time. And this is the reason. If you take a sip every 10 minutes, what happens is it's a constant sugar source for the bacteria. Every 10 minutes, the bacteria are creating new acid in your mouth and you're creating new little holes in your teeth. You're never giving your body a chance to recover. If you were to drink on that soda or whatever other beverage you're drinking all at one time, it's one time in and it's done. That's one time that you're feeding the bacteria, one time that you're making acid, and then it's done. And then the rebuilding phase kicks in. So to expand on this concept of sipping on a soda, sipping on a drink. It extends even further into hard candy, candy with sugar in it, snacks, something that you're going to have in your mouth for an extended period of time. It's much better to indulge in a piece of chocolate cake or any sort of sweet thing that you enjoy all at one time rather than to suck on it, say a lifesaver or something with candy, with sugar throughout the day. Have it at one time, be done with it, brush your teeth, and move on. So in addition to how you eat, what you eat throughout the day, a lot of patients ask, can I brush once a day or do I really have to brush twice? Well, the short answer to that is twice. You have to brush twice a day, and here's why. In the evening you have to brush because you are brushing off everything you've put in your mouth all day long. All the food, all the acid that's been made, and all the bacteria that have multiplied to create that acid. That has to go at night. In the morning, what happens when you sleep is the bacteria multiply. There might be some food still in there that you missed that night before, and your mouth was really dry, so things have just grown in there. You gotta brush all that off in the morning too. So you really can't brush and have a clean mouth by only doing it in the morning, and you really can't brush and have a clean mouth by only doing it at night. It's important to do it morning and night. In addition to brushing twice a day, the one other component to keeping your mouth clean and healthy is flossing. It's the one thing that people have the hardest time remembering to do and the hardest time getting in a habit for. It's essential because unless you floss and brush, your mouth is not completely clean. You have to brush twice a day, but floss goes in between your teeth and finds the areas where your toothbrush can't reach. It gets out all the bacteria, the sugar, the acid, everything that's hiding in between your teeth where your toothbrush can't reach. You have to brush twice a day, morning and night, and definitely floss once. So what I really want you to take home from this video and from all this information is just how important it is to limit the amount of time sugar is in your mouth every day. Before you suck on that Jolly Rancher, or before you really snack on something for a long period of time, think about what I've told you and think about this information and try and limit the amount of time that sugar is in your mouth. And also take home from this video that it's really important not only what you eat, but it's important what you do after you eat. And that is grab that glass of water, brush your teeth, brush and floss if you can. So it's the combination of the food that you eat throughout the day and then also what you do after that will really help to keep you cavity free. In a future video, I plan to tell you what all of the equipment and all of the tools are that you see at the dental office to hopefully demystify the dental experience. In another video, I plan to tell you all about gum disease and all of the easy ways to prevent it. Again, my name is Dr. Emily Kraft, and thank you very much for watching this video. I hope the information was very useful for you. If you would like to find out more, visit my website at pecanparksmiles.com. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Feel free to leave a comment, and also don't hesitate to subscribe to our channel.